Karen broke into my private pool to party. I sued and took $120,000 from the HOA budget. The summer of 2024 was supposed to be my sanctuary. After years of grinding at a soul-sucking corporate job, I'd finally saved enough to buy a modest house in Oak Ridge Estates, a quiet suburban neighborhood with one crown jewel, my private pool. It was my escape, a shimmering oasis where I could float under the stars and forget the world. But Karen Whitlock, my neighbor 2 houses down, had other plans. Karen was the kind of woman who thrived on control. She wasn't just a member of the homeowners association, she was its unofficial queen. At every meeting, her voice drowned out reason, demanding stricter rules on mailbox colors or fining people for overgrown lawns. I kept my head down, paid my dues, and avoided her like a storm cloud, until July 4th. I was out of town visiting my sick mother when my security app pinged. Grainy footage showed Karen and a dozen strangers splashing in my pool, blaring music, and tossing beer cans into my rose bushes. She'd somehow gotten the gate code later. I'd learned she bullied the HOA's secretary into handing it over. By the time I raced home, my pool was trashed. Broken tiles, clogged filters, and a neighbor's kid vomiting on my deck. Karen, tipsy and defiant, smirked when I confronted her. "It's just a pool, Mark. Lighten up. The HOA will cover the damages." I was livid. The HOA, funded by our dues, wasn't her personal piggy bank. I filed a police report, but Karen's husband, a local cop, made it disappear. So I hired a lawyer, Sarah, a sharp single mom who saw through Karen's act. We sued Karen for trespassing and damages, but here's where it got messy. We also targeted the HOA for negligence. They'd failed to protect my property by letting Karen access the code. The case ballooned, splitting the neighborhood. Half saw Karen as a harmless busybody. The other half, including me, wanted justice. Court was a circus. Karen played the victim, sobbing about community spirit and claiming I was a greedy outsider. But Sarah was relentless, presenting my security footage and repair bills totaling $25,000. Then came the twist. A quiet HOA member, Tom, a retired accountant, testified. He'd overheard Karen bragging at a bar about using HOA funds to cover her legal fees, thinking she'd win. Tom's testimony was a bombshell proof the HOA was complicit. The judge ruled in my favor, slamming Karen with $25,000 in damages and the HOA with $95,000 for negligence. The total? $120,000, pulled straight from the HOA budget. Victory felt sweet, but it was short-lived. The HOA strapped for cash, raised dues, and slashed community services. The neighborhood pool closed. The annual barbecue was canceled. Kids lost their summer programs. Suddenly, I wasn't the hero, I was the villain who'd gutted Oak Ridge's heart. Karen, ever the manipulator, spun it masterfully. At the next HOA meeting, she stood up, teary-eyed, and pointed at me. "Mark's lawsuit destroyed our community. Is this what you call justice?" The room erupted in boos. I left, my face burning. Months later, I found a note slipped under my door from Tom. He apologized for staying silent so long, admitting he'd feared Karen's wrath. He wrote, "You did what was right, but right doesn't always feel good." His words haunted me. My pool, once my refuge, now felt like a curse. I'd won the lawsuit but lost my neighbor's trust. Karen moved away, her house sold to a young family who avoided me. The HOA limped along, fractured and bitter. Sitting by my pool one night, I stared at the still water, reflecting a sky full of stars. I'd fought for what was mine, but at what cost? Was it pride, revenge, or just the principle that no one should take what isn't theirs? I'm still not sure. The $120,000 didn't fix the cracks in my Homer in Oak Ridge. What do you think of this mess? Was I right to sue, or did I take it too far, punishing the community for one woman's chaos? Share your thoughts below.